Satnam Aloha, everybody. I would like to talk about this week's transit. I felt called to do that today. And you can see here's the transit chart here, right? And we are in the 57 as of today. So you may have felt a shift in energy yourself, right? So there's the sun is in the 57.1. So all last week, it was in the 48. Remember, we were dealing with the shadow of inadequacy and trusting the depth. It was about trusting the depth of ourself. You know, we have to learn. We're learning these lessons through these transits. So I just want to remind people that if you have, you know, we're working on this one, we're working on the 57 all this week until Friday. Okay. Starting now until Friday evening, Saturday morning. And if you've got this natally, then this is you, right? That never changes. That never changes. But in your natal chart, and if you don't have your chart, go down into the information box and you can click get your free chart. You don't even have to give your email address and you'll get your free chart. And it's great if you're following me in this channel, is to have your chart on hand anyway. And then you'll begin to learn more and more about yourself. Okay, so if you've got it natally, yes, you have it forevermore. But if it's a transit, you have to remember that it's not you, but you can use this energy to your benefit, right? I'm a 2-4 profile, so it's all about the opportunity. Here's an opportunity to learn about what? To learn about intuition. It's all about intuition this week. So it's hard to print with a mouse. Okay, it's all about intuition, the 57. So it's in the first line, right? And then it travels to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when it's in the 6th line, I love 6-line days because then you get the booty, right? You got the lesson, the clarity, right? It's clarity. That's the gift of the 57. So right away, right, we moved from the 48 and then we're in the 57 now. So look at there, right? This is the splenic awareness system. This is an ancient awareness system, and it's all about keeping our body, our physical body, alive, right? So the neutrino stream, right? The 70% of the neutrinos, subatomic particles that carry weight, trillions of neutrinos are moving through you right now as I speak, right? And they carry information. And this is what's called the program, right? So 70% are coming from the sun, right? So we're going to feel this. And if you're sensitive to energy, and especially if you follow my channel, if you're sensitive to energy, you're going to be aware of shifts, right? I woke up this morning, immediately I felt a shift in energy because it shifted from 48 into 57. Right? So these 70% of neutrinos, it's unease, feeling unease in the body. And the fear is the fear of the future. So this is an ancient fear. What's coming, right? What's coming? So let's talk a little bit about the 57. So your intuition is in third eye intuition. You know, your third eye. This kind of intuition is coming from the body, but it's coming from your hearing. Right? So it's intuition through hearing, the 57, and it's hearing through the right eye. So this is our ancient ancestors, right? On alert, because it's about being in the now moment, being in the now moment, high alert, senses are high alert. And this hearing was a gift. It was like a safety mechanism for us. The alert hearing that, oh, a twig broke. Is that a predator? Is there something to fear, to run away from, right? Fight, flight, or freeze. So it's coming through the hearing. So it's like you got a third ear. You don't got a third eye, you got a third ear. And this is all individual, right? It's individual circuitry, right? This 57 is an individual gate. So all individual gates, it's about hearing, it's acoustic, right? So it's an ancient system that's kept us alive. So here we are, and maybe you feel this limitation yourself, like your consciousness is elevating, your frequency is elevating, you're on the spiritual path, and yet we live in these vehicles that we're limited in a sense by this ancient system, right, of our bodies, because our bodies haven't caught up with the evolution yet. So this is fear of the future. What's coming in the future, right? So it's correct. Interestingly enough, it's connected to the cross of the sleeping phoenix. So remember that we're leaving the cross of planning a 200-year cycle that started in 1615 and it ends in 2027, right? And it goes to 2438. And so there's themes for this new cross, right? And it's going to change and shift. And I was just meditating on that today, It's because really look at 2020, we're in a 7-year cycle, right? 2020 to 2027, important cycle. And let's look what happened in 2020. Let's look what happened like globally across the globe, right? Nobody could have predicted that. And, in even 2016, 2017, we had an idea something was coming, right? Because of the astrology transits, but no idea this was coming. So this is the shift that's going to be happening in 2027. Boom, everything changes, right? Everything changes. The themes change, and we start this whole new 400-year cycle. So right now we're preparing for this. Right now until 2020, there's a window, right? There's a window open, and this is for our awakening, right? And then the 2027, that window closes. So this is really an opportune time for these next 3 years, 4 years. Okay. So the shadow here, the shadow of the sleeping phoenix in 2027, 2438 is the 57. So that's a theme for the sleeping phoenix, and it's connected to the 46, and that's about the body. So again, keeping the body alive and fear of the future, this unease. Okay, so what are some qualities? This is a quick video, this one here. So when I'm not myself, when I'm not being my authentic self, I believe I can't handle what is coming. I cannot handle what is coming, right? And I'm not present, right? So I believe I can't, and then we'll, to go back to here, this was the inadequacy. I'm inadequate. I can't handle what's coming in the future. So, and then you're not present, right? You're not present. You're not here in the now. This gift of clarity in the 57 means that you need to be in the now. What does that mean? You're not in the head. You're not thinking, strategizing. You're fully embodied. You're fully embodied, right? Feeling your feet on the ground. You're in your body, right? So you're not present when you're here with the fear of the future. And then you can't listen to your intuition, right? When you're not present, when you're not there, when you're not being authentic in your authentic self, you can't listen to your intuition. And then what's going on here? Borrowed thoughts, right? Borrowed thoughts that are even your own, right? And that's especially true if you have an open head and an open ajna. Those are not colored in. You're borrowing other people's thoughts. They're not even your own, so they're not authentic to you, right? So that can overpower your intuition, right? And then overcome by fear. And that's a big one. It's really difficult to listen to your intuition and your guidance and your own inner authority when you're overcome by that frequency of fear. And then you're easily manipulated into the not self world. Remember, we've got two forces on the planet right now: the not self pulling us away from our authenticity. And then the other force, which is our force of evolution, is to be our unique self, awakened self. Maybe for the first time in all the millions of lifetimes you've had, that this is the lifetime for you, that you're going to be awake in this lifetime, empowered, self-sovereign, moving through the world, right? So this is what's happening on the external, but it's a reflection of what's going on inside you, the battle inside you. Yes, I want to go forward on my spiritual journey. No, I'm too afraid. I have to cling, and I got to give my power over. I got to give my authority to other so-called experts, right? So this is the battle that we're in, the old self and the new self, right? And the new self is just you. It's the old self, really, right? It's the real you, the authentic you, right? So when you're in fear, you can easily be manipulated into the not self world, because the not self world promises you safety, right? You see that a lot. We'll keep you safe. This will keep you safe if you do this, if you do what I say. And it's the upside down world that's not going to keep you safe. What's going to keep you safe is when you stay in the core of your authenticity, your authentic self, your intuition. That's what you want to be listening to and obeying, and not giving your power over to the external anymore, right? So this is, you get trapped in the mind and the ego, right? You're trapped in the mind and the ego, and that means you're out of your power, right there. You're kicked out of your power when you're in the mind and ego. You've been hijacked, easily manipulated. Like the cows with the ring on their nose, just pulled around, right? Back and forth by the external. Okay, so what's the gift here? Let's look at the gift here. Well, it's clarity, right? So it's clarity. So this week, you're learning about your intuition. You're learning about your own authority. So right ear, listening to your right ear, right, for this transit. And so this is, your intuition will let you know through hearing, right? People, like, use it for people. There's certain people, like many people, I can't even listen to. It's like nails on a chalkboard, because I'm a pure individual. I've got no collective channels, no tribal channels. I'm pure individual. So I'm protected in a sense, right? I'm not as influenced as other people by the tribal consciousness, collective consciousness. Not to say that I haven't had to do my deconditioning. I've had, right? But it's like nails on a chalkboard. I just can't listen to them, even though my mind is like, they've got really good content that I want to listen to, but I just can't, because of their frequency isn't authentic, right? So practice that this week, right? Because you're in this transit. I'm going to listen to my right ear, and that's what I'm going to listen to. I'm not going to get caught up in the mind and the ego, and then taking in their nice sounding words when the frequency could be completely off, right? Their intention is completely off. They're not authentic, right? So you want to stay authentic, right? Make that commitment to yourself. I'm going to be myself. And that means I embody myself. I'm inner referenced. If I make any decisions, they're coming from inside me. And this is the time until 2027 is to know what your type is. Like, get your chart, know what your type is, right? If you're a projector, you need to be recognized and invited. If you're a manifesting generator, you need to respond with a yes or no. If you're a manifestor, you have to get permission, inform, and then initiate. And reflector, you've got to watch the cycles of the moon. So wherever you are, you need to obey this. This is a strategy, right? That's what it means to be authentic. I'm not making decisions from my mind and my ego. I'm making them. I'm not letting you make decisions for me. I know what's correct for me. You don't know what's correct for me. Only I know what's correct for me, right? So just, this is what it means to be authentic. You're present in the now, right? So this gift activates when you're in the now, the present in the now. And that, you may say, well, I am present. If you're up in your head and you're thinking, you're not in the now, right? You're in the now when that mind is not going crazy, right? Noisy. There's no judgment, right? There's no interfering with what you're seeing out in the world. It's just you're present, right? You're really, really present. You must have had that experience by now. Especially meditation really helps you to bring you into the now present moment, right? You're just there. I'm here. I exist. I'm here. And then you want to listen through your right ear for truth, which I talked about. You want to stay in your center. Okay. So a good way to do that is to go here. Like imagine that you live right here in the navel. That's the home of the original self. That's the solar plexus, right? You're there. I'm there. This is my original self. Imagine you got a throne inside here that you're sitting in, and you're right here. You got to be here to go to here, right? But not up here. You don't want to be in the head, right? There, this is where I live. I live right here, right? In my heart, these two places. So as long as you're authentic and I'm being myself, I'm not trying to people please. I'm not trying to get approval for anybody else. I'm not like doing crazy things my ego is telling me because of fear of the future, thinking that I can strategize and escape this fear, right? I'm going to just stay authentic, and I'm going to rest in the core of my being, right? I'm going to rest there. I'm going to trust. And then I can handle, and tell yourself, I can handle, as long as I'm here, anything that life brings to me. Anything that life brings to me, I can handle. And then the other thing you want to do, I didn't write it here, but you want to sweep as you go, I call it. Sweep as you go. And what does that mean? Right? Sweep as you go. This means that you want to, the F word, you want to feel, right? So you're going to feel fear. This 57 is going to bring up fear. It's the body, right? It's ancient fears from our ancestors that need to be released and transmuted. Well, I'm going to feel. That's your work. I'm going to stay in my core, in my heart, and then I'm going to feel. Sweep as you go. When fear comes up, I'll just feel. That's my work. I feel it. And remember, fear is just a frequency moving through your body. It's foreign to you, right? It's not who you are. Frequency moving through my body. I'm just going to feel, right? I'm going to feel it and then release it, right? And so this will come up this week. So where we get into trouble, right, is when that ego and mind, right, makes up a story about the fear. It's just frequency moving. That's all it is frequency. This is where we get into trouble. And then we make bad decisions, bad decisions, right? Because they're not correct for us, because it's the not self. It's not who you are, your mind and ego. Okay, so that's what we got there. And I want to remind people, this is the time to get a reading, a human design reading. I got my first reading in 2005 with Randy Richmond. He was one of Ra's earlier students, and he was amazing. He's passed away though. I think he's gone for 7 years now. But I often listen to that reading, maybe once or twice a year, because it never changes. It's all me. And how many years ago was that? Many years ago, almost 20 years ago. I'm still listening to that thing and exploring my own design. So if you can't afford a reading with me, then go and get the recorded reading. And that's a good start to go. That's only $49. It's an hour and a half. It will get you started on your type and what food you're supposed to be eating and what kind of environment you're supposed to be living in and what your awareness, how your awareness works. And that's a really good start. There's other human design people that will give you a reading. I can't really vouch for any of them, just Randy Richmond that I had. He was a projector and I really liked him. Okay, so that, and then I want to remind people that the Phoenix webinar series is coming up this Saturday, and this is the new global cycle, and this is 2027. Everything changes, and this is the time. You're in the window until 2027 to get clear, right? To really come into your power. This is the time to do it. The opportunity ends after 2027. This is what Ra, the founder of Human Design, I'm not speculating on this. He said it. And I've been listening to these lectures and they're amazing. He's been lecturing since the early 90s and everything is coming true. I can see it all over the world. So I'm on fire for this right now. And like I said to you before, I'm at 8 And my motivation is leader and leading people to their authentic self. And that's going to make your life a lot easier. And this is what we want. We want to be ourselves. We want to have this experience of being in our power and being awakened in one lifetime, over out of millions of lifetimes. This is our chance, right? Until 2027. So I'll be sharing a lot of information, like you'll be bombarded by information about what we're leaving behind, the themes. It's amazing, these themes that we've been working through, and then what's coming, and then strategies of what we can do to prepare, and then meds, right? Meditations and things. And there'll be time for Q&A. So I'm going to do the webinar, and then you're in a community forum. And then it's not like you just get your Zoom and then you're off on your own. You get your recording. No, you're part of my membership site, and then it's all there. And then there'll be places where you can ask questions. And if there's enough questions, I'll just do another video. And then at the end, we all wrap it up, and then I send it to you, and you can download it to your computer. Okay, so have a great week. And I'm going to do another live stream on Wednesday or Thursday about the eclipse. More excitement coming. Okay, so have a great day or evening wherever you are in the world, and be yourself. Commit to being yourself this week, and commit to not letting fear, right, take you off this path. Okay, so namaloa, everybody.